friends. Welcome to the Money Minute, yet another episode of your favorite program with Seema Sharma. Thank you so much for joining in today. And we're going to be talking about something that's very, very important to a lot of us when we're getting closer to retirement. When you get close to the retirement age, you feel, should I learn about investing and take care of my portfolio myself, or should I hand over that portfolio to someone else who is an expert to look after that portfolio? And I want to reference an article today which was posted in Globe and Mail by my favorite writer, Rob Garrick. He's been writing for Globe and Mail for many, many years. One of the most intelligent, humble, very simple way of explaining things. He's my role model. So I want to reference this article in today's Globe and Mail. It's called The Pros and Cons of Handing Over Your Portfolio to an Advisor in Uncertain Times. So, you may have noticed that the past 7 or 8 years, everybody was talking about exchange traded funds. They were talking about how they're going into direct investing. They're dealing with robo advisors and they're making money. Now, when things are going well, there is no secret to investing money or to making a return because everything is going up. So no matter which equities or which portfolio, which benchmark you choose to copy, it's going to give you good return. However, the real test happens when you want to invest money and the times are not good. So we never expected a pandemic. We never thought that the whole world is going to come to a halt, to a halt where nobody knows if tomorrow is certain. Business owners are in panic. Big businesses are trying to steer the ship still and doing things the best they can for their employees and their businesses and their economies. But times are very uncertain. So you would hear less about ETFs, which is more self-directed investing, just looking at the benchmark, looking at an index and copying it, or people talking about I do it myself, and last year I earned 8% or 7%, which is great. I love that. If you can do it yourself, very good. Okay. But if you are a professional in another field and you don't have the time to invest and learn and do all the research for you and for your portfolio, I think it's very wise to spend that fee, to give that fee. We're going to talk about the fees in a second, and let an expert take care of your portfolio. Some of my clients have come to me, mostly I deal with a family, husband and wife, and one person is always more keen on investing money on their own, and the other says, you know what, I don't know, you have the time, things can go wrong anytime. Especially in the past 4 months, a lot of people have called and said, we were doing it ourselves, but can you help? So, in exchange of a fee, if you can get an expert advice and you can get somebody else to take care of your portfolio, while you focus on things that matter for you, to you, I think it's a good trade-off. However, what do you do with clients when they say, you know what, I love being online, I love robo-advisor, I love the advice that direct investing brings to me. So I have a solution, 5% is my solution. So no matter what your portfolio is, if your portfolio is $1 million, you get $50,000 every year to play with. Okay. And I've learned this the hard way. If you let a client take care of their portfolio, all of it, and let's say they have a very aggressive personality and the rest of the family is not that personality, all they were looking for is 5 to 6% return, consistent return on their portfolio, which they could have earned easily anyways. It's very hard for that person who wants to really do it himself or herself to advise the other person and say, hey, I'm not happy with 5 or 6%. I wanna make you 20% this year. Great. It's called greed. Okay. If you are able to get all the education, if you're able to spend 6 to 8 hours a day learning about investing, about stocks, you run a technical analysis, a fundamental analysis on every security that you buy, I would say go for it. But if you're reading the news and changing your mind every second day, and you're putting your lifetime saving on risk with that strategy, I think that's a very risky one. Would you agree? So this article from Globe and Mail talks about the pros and cons. So one of the pros they talk about is, if let's say you own a big company and you have a very important project, would you want that project to be done by employees that don't have the expertise in that area, or would you hire a team of consultants and hand over that project and let them do what they do the best? Okay, that's your decision. But everything comes with a price. So if you are handing over a portfolio of $1 million to a financial advisor, your fee can be 1 to 1.5%, depending on who you're dealing with. If someone comes in with great expertise, like 25 years of service, great track record, they work with a big institution, their fee may be more of a standard that they charge. If you're dealing with a smaller firm, they might be more flexible in how much they charge you. So I would say the fee could be anywhere from 0.75% to 1.5%. Now, how do these work in your portfolio is, let's say your $1 million is earning 8% in any given year, okay? In reality, that fund has actually earned 9.5% if the fee is 1.5%. So that 1.5% is taken away first before they declare that your portfolio has earned 8%. So we always call it net of fees. What's declared on your portfolio is net of fees. So if your portfolio earned 9.5% and the fees are 1.5%, your portfolio earned 8%. Okay. The other way of looking at it is I can pay a fee instead of having built-in compensation for financial advisors, and those are the fees that are negotiable. However, most financial advisor will negotiate that fee when you reach a portfolio of at least $500,000 investable assets. Okay, back to our point. Should we look at and manage our own portfolio when we're closer to retirement or during retirement? During retirement is the most crucial time when you actually want somebody else to take care of your portfolio. Okay, diversification is going to be the key. You're not going to want a huge risky portfolio, so there is no need for you to be sitting on the computer with your books, researching which stock to buy. And if you are that kind of person, take my advice and take only 5% of your portfolio and play with it. Okay, when I talk about stocks with people, a lot of people think that stocks are very risky. Yes, they are. Okay, they are very risky because you're basically saying, here's $50,000, any one company, and make me 10 to 12% or 15% or 20%. Okay, diversification means here is $50,000. I'm going to choose 5 different companies, 10 different companies. I'm going to choose them in the geography of North America, or I'm going to take a little bit more risk and go international, and then make 8 to 10%. So diversification is the key, and diversification cannot be done when you're so close to your portfolio. I'm talking about the emotional side now, okay? So the emotion-driven decisions that investors make, that's what makes them mostly get a bad taste. And I have mentioned that in my previous videos, that when you are looking to invest and the times are bad, that may be the best time to invest. Okay, but is it the best time to invest DIY, or is the best time to give your portfolio to an expert? And whoever that expert is, make sure you do your research, make sure you find out about that person, You know, also look at some of the things like what kind of reputation does this person have? Does this expert have? Um, you know, who do you know that deals with this person? Maybe a personal reference would be a good thing. What kind of extracurricular activities does this person have? Is he or she involved in charities? Is he or she is working for the society, for the community, or this person is strictly making money for himself or herself? So there are so many things that you want to look at before deciding on who you want to hand over your portfolio to. Anyhow, it's a great article. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to post a link to this article in the comments below for this YouTube video. Please make sure you share with people that you know, friends that may be close to retirement. They can reach out to me if they have any questions. However, if you have a great financial advisor, please go ahead and deal with them and talk to them more often and share your ideas. You know, one of the things that I love working with my young clients when they come back and give me feedback, they'll talk about a stock that moved up 30% in one day or 25% in one day. And then I kind of calm them down and I say, listen, you put a long-term strategy in your portfolio. Don't worry about what's happening today or tomorrow. We're going to review it at the end of 3 years or 2 years. When I do that, and then let's say 2 months later, that same stock that they were talking about is down by 60% or 40%. It happened to a lot of the marijuana companies that came in. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to invest in those, but you know, being a socially responsible person, I don't want to invest into anything until I see that this initiative is going to help the society and our young kids in Canada. So you know, it gives me a great pleasure to go through their ambition and then their anxiety. And if they come back and say, "Hey, Seema, you should have really taken advantage of that peak or that trough," I always feel, you know, it's great, but am I going to risk your lifetime saving in a one-day hype stock? No, right? I work with many professionals and I work closely with them. If there is anything that um, I need to reach out to another professional, I do, whether it's taxation, legal, you know, lending, anything like that. We work together as a team to help our clients. But all the DIYs out there, I hope you're watching this video. And if there are any comments, any suggestions for me, please feel free to post them or reach out to me. My email address is given on the screen, and I look forward to your comments and questions. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this session today.